that Arizona will be allowing gyms and pools to open their doors May 13th. So that's tomorrow. So if you're excited about that, crush up the likes. If you like to go to the gym and you like swimming in a public pool, community pool, that's good news for you. In case you're wondering what the status of Arizona's lockdown is altogether, barber shops opened, some nail salons have already opened. Now, there are long waits at those places. I went and got my haircut yesterday, you can see, and I had to wait 2.5 hours. I actually went to Sports Clips. I went on to their online app, tried to register online to get on the waiting list, but I actually had to go in there and then do some other stuff while I was waiting. So that's kind of wild, isn't it? Thanks to everyone who's crushing up the likes, by the way. And yeah, so this is what Governor Doug Ducey just tweeted out here recently. Says, I'm grateful to all Arizonans for their partnership and cooperation during these trying times by continuing to follow the data and recommendations of public health officials. He's saying we will return stronger. He also went on to say that Arizona has taken a calm and steady approach to protecting health and slowing the spread of COVID-19. We're following the guidelines and gating criteria established by the White House and CDC, and we're tracking the data closely. Now, in case you're wondering what I've felt out here in Southeast Phoenix or in Arizona, if you're from out of state, what it's been like out here, I've noticed people are getting a little bit restless. The fuses on people, they're just not as long as they've been. I mean, I'm noticing a lot of tension in the air. People are pent up. People are frustrated. And, you know, and this is not just something that's coincidental with the weather. I mean, I'm noticing people are really pent up. They want to get back to work. They want whether they want to or not, they're pent up, and I'm feeling it in the air. So I just wanted to say that this is really good news, and it couldn't come at a better time because people are ready to get back to normal. From what I did hear from some people is that one of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of people who still want this to continue, at least from what I've heard, is because, for example, I was talking to a salon person, someone who works at the salon. She was cutting my hair. She said that they were making more money on unemployment than they were actually what they make every month working. So I think they were getting like $800 to $900. I don't know the exact number, but they were getting about $800 a week for unemployment. So one of the reasons you might see people so adamant about keeping it locked down is because they were making more money on unemployment than they were doing their actual job, which more power to them. I mean, why not? Why would I be a hater and say that? But that's why you might be seeing some people who are like, stay at home, because they're actually making more money than they were doing their actual job. So, you know, this kind of stuff happens. If you guys want some more details on this, according to Doug Ducey's executive order, stay home, stay healthy, stay connected. Hair salons, nail salons, barbershops were allowed to reopen May 8th, May 11th. Arizona restaurants were allowed to reopen during dining rooms to patrons with modifications that allowed social distancing guidelines. So we're still not seeing things fully going back to normal. In fact, I went over to this one place, I think it's called Fabric Store or something like that. It's like a Michael's, and they only let 10 people in the store at any given time. Only 10 people. There was like 15 people waiting outside. I went to UPS store. They could only let 5 people in the UPS store, a much smaller establishment than the home goods store. But even, you know, Target, same kind of deal. Still got to go in one door, wait until they let you in. Home Depot. I mean, we're still having to deal with all that. 50% patronage at the restaurants still can't be like, you know, full capacity. We are hearing that a lot of restaurants, like I think Sweet Tomatoes going out of business. One of the Four Peaks in Scottsdale Brewing Company had to shut their doors. So a lot of restaurants now announcing they're going out of business. And this is not good. This is not good. A lot of people were working there. A lot of people had to, you know, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would be cheering that on, but I don't think they are. JC Thurod says, I heard gyms are allowed to open today. I did not hear that. According to Governor Doug Ducey, it was tomorrow. Big Five stores open, bought shoes. So there you go. Robert Vogel said he bought shoes at Big Five. Like I was saying about Dick's Sporting Goods, they were opening. And then, Johnny says the casino will be open Friday. Yeah, so I mean, the official stay-at-home order that was in place that was extended to May 15th, obviously that it expires on Friday, May 15th. So it's just interesting. Let's see here. What else does he say? During the news conference, Dr. Kara Christ with the Arizona Department of Health Services says the state is working with 147 long-term care facilities on tests for residents and staff. Facilities will be provided with test results as well as technical assistance on infection control guideline. I mean, you still have to stay safe out there. I would say if I was to make a guesstimate on how many people are wearing masks and taking things extra careful out there, I would say it's around about 30 to 40% of the people are wearing masks. The other percentage of the people, 60%, are not taking necessary, the precautions. One of the things that some people were saying is the virus can't live in these extreme Arizona heat. It's going over 100 degrees pretty much every single day. So we'll see if I don't know if the virus can survive or not in that heat, but people are saying it cannot. So that's why Arizona has some of the lowest rates of infection. Kim says, "Hello, Jeff. You look awesome in your vest and gear outfit. Bring the zombie." No, I'm not actually. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys may or may not have watched my video that I made yesterday. It was on the kind of like the urban survival gear that you can get. If you haven't already watched it, you can go back and watch it on this channel. But I was wearing, tactical gear and all that stuff that you can get on your own, military grade stuff. But it wasn't. It's not that I'm wanting a zombie apocalypse. In fact, I don't welcome that at all. It's not. Sure, in theory, it's fun to play dress up and everything, but I don't look forward to any of the civil unrest that could potentially take place or EMP attack, or I don't want to have to use any of that gear for any sort of need. But if it does happen, you can be prepared, whether you use some of it or all of it. It's interesting at least to do that kind of preparation. Some people were talking about bug out bags, but then someone took it to the next level to saying they have a bug out van. Then you were hearing people saying they had a bug out bunker. So it just depends on how far in preparation you want to get, right? No, I know, Kimmy, I wasn't trying to say that, but it's just, no, I mean, it could appear as though like, oh, Jeff likes to play dress up and play these war games and these scenarios, doesn't he? But that's not, I mean, if I really think about it, I'm like, no, actually, I don't want to get into a zombie apocalypse type situation where there's civil unrest and societal destruction and all that, because some people even say they wouldn't even want to live in a world like that. Thanks to 16 people who crushed up the likes, by the way. DLP says, Jeff, I agree. I see a lot of people not wearing masks. I would rather be safe than sorry. I personally am not wearing a mask, but I could understand why someone would wear a mask. I did wear a mask when I was in Asia. When I was over there in Cambodia, I got on an airplane. I sat next to a British couple, and they were like, why are you wearing a mask? And I was like, coronavirus, and she was like, oh, okay, well, do what you want. But I was actually happy that I took it off because I noticed that the mask that I was wearing was actually making me have a sinus infection or making me sick. Like my throat was scratchy. I don't know what it was from, but it seemed like the material inside the mask or whatever just wasn't as clean. And so I determined that, hey, you know what? I really like this hand sanitizer, and I'll use the heck out of hand sanitizer for real. That's my go-to. So my precaution is hand sanitizer. For some of you, it might be mask. And if someone's standing next to me and they start coughing up a lung, I'm like, dude, back up. Don't be coughing on me. Don't be barking all over me there, cowboy. And Shamai says, talk about the pools. I have a pool video on this channel that's getting a lot of views, actually. I did a pool video on how I built my spa. It's like getting one of my top videos. But some of the videos that I do have coming up that you guys may be able to look forward to, I'm going to show you the things I'm doing in my backyard to summarize. When I say summarize, I mean summer eyes, like winter eyes, summarize. My backyard, I've got a mister system that you guys got to see. I mean, I've got a mister system on my umbrella, my patio, and on my pergola. Then I've also got some other things that I'm doing to my garage, insulation to my garage door, insulation to my garage roof, the sunscreens on the front of my house. All of this is to make my house tolerable if I'm going to be staying home or whatever the case may be. If I can't, if I'm going to be staying at home more than I ever have been, I want to make sure that my house is comfortable and that I'm happy here. So going out in my backyard in the middle of at 12 o'clock in the afternoon in July or June, come on, it's not going to happen unless you take necessary steps. You build shade, like shade trees, shade anything, shade. But then you have to take it another step further and do the misters. So stay tuned for that if you guys are excited for that. Royal Pilot says cactus farm. I don't have a cactus farm here. I like cactus, but I don't like the ones. I don't like prickly pear. You know, I've had so many basketballs pop because of prickly pear and saguaro cactus. It's not that I have anything against them, but I'm not going to put them in my backyard because I've gotten cactus in my foot. So the cactus I do have in my backyard are typically like succulents or agaves or aloe, something like that. Michelle Vogel, I just read about the pools and gyms. Also said sports after the 15th. Yeah, I'm really wondering when are they going to open up the MLB? From what I understood yesterday, they're going to do Major League Baseball starting in July, but they're coming together for a meeting. The MLB owners had a meeting today talking about when the season was going to open up. Because I mean, I want to go to a Diamondbacks game, of course, but we'll see. You know, NBA basketball. I mean, are they going to finish the season, or are they just going to call it a done, one and done? You know, is LeBron not going to get a chance, or is he going to get a chance? As far as with no attendees, I don't know what the plan is. I mean, they were even talking about moving all the games to Arizona, playing all the games in Arizona. So we'll have to see about that. Someone is at my door. Great. Maybe it's the mailman. Anyway, so thanks to the 19 people who crushed up the likes. As far as the pools go, yeah, people are wanting to do that. UFC is trying to hold event in Las Vegas in a few weeks. We'll see about that. I know they did an event with no fans in the attendance, but how did that work out? We'll see. Jason Murphy, did you say misters in addition to shade? What is that? Misters. So misters are I'll have to make a video about this apparently. By the way, if you guys want to keep up with some of these things that I'm doing in my garden, you need to join my group that I have. It's called Gardening in Phoenix, Arizona. And people are always posting ideas of things to do outside to keep cool, like shade ideas, shade trees, growing tomatoes, growing peppers, growing jalapenos, mister systems, bird houses. I mean, we've pretty much, you name it, how to keep your plants alive during the summer, how to keep your plants alive during the winter, plumerias, flowers, all these different things. And I think if people, I think a lot of people may have a green thumb, thought about having a green thumb, but if you do have any interest in being a green thumb, crush up the likes, obviously, but also join our group that I just posted the link to right there. So that's pretty good. David says Lake Pleasant was beautiful today. I'll bet. Yeah, I mean, today was really a beautiful day, wasn't it? It was like really nice. Michelle says, oh yeah, I'll join that. Nice. HSS says green onions are a good start for beginners. The easiest one to grow, in my opinion, is tomatoes. Always. Tomatoes are just the easiest plant to grow in Arizona. I mean, cherry tomatoes. I like the little pear tomatoes. They're like the yellow ones. Those are really good. You can grow the big ones, the romaine. Tomatoes are just so easy to grow out here. Another one is I've thought was pretty easy is cantaloupes. I mean, I plant all those from seed. I'll just put the seeds in the ground and they just grow up. It's crazy. Cantaloupes, watermelon. You know, you eat a cantaloupe, how many seeds are in there? Tons. Just put all those seeds, like just scatter them wherever you want them to grow and they'll just come up. Like sunflowers are really easy right now. They're popping up. I'm about to have a couple of sunflower blooms. You guys will see if you guys join that group. But I'm going to also make a video about these misters, specific to these misters, how to take your umbrella in your backyard. So let's just say you don't have a pergola, you don't have a shade stanchion, you don't have a big shade tree right there, but you know you can get an umbrella, right? How do you put those misters, those cooling, they're like a little spray thing. It's like a cooling system, like a spray cooler that mist water. And you put that on there, and that's what I'm going to show you. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's not nuclear physics, that's for damn sure. Anyways, Ali Muhammad. Hey, Jeff, when you have a chance, can you talk about Levine? I'm thinking about moving from Brooklyn, New York. I mean, Levine is good. It's West Side Phoenix. It's I don't really know too much about Levine. I know it's on the West Side. It's good. I mean, if you're being drawn to Levine, you'll probably appreciate it. The thing is, it's close to the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. It's on the west side of Phoenix, which is not the most desirable side of Phoenix, but it's still pretty nice. Most people, when they go to the west side of Phoenix, they choose to go northwest. Southwest, if they go southwest, they go towards Buckeye, Goodyear. Laveen is kind of in between Surprise and Glendale, I guess, and then Buckeye. So that's where you're at with Laveen. It's South Phoenix, Southwest Phoenix. I consider it West Phoenix, okay? But it is more South Phoenix. I actually don't know too much about Laveen. I don't like spend a lot of time over there. It's not like there's nothing there. It's just where people live. Nothing against it. Lindsay Perry, are grapefruit trees easy to grow out there like oranges and lemons? Well, you know what? You sound like the perfect candidate to need to join the gardening group, because that's a great question for people in there. I did grow one grapefruit tree in my backyard. For one, I don't really like the bitter taste of grapefruit, so I'm not like, oh, gee, I can't wait to grow a grapefruit. But I did try. It was looking beautiful. It was lush and green, and then something happened to it. I either overwatered it or it got zapped by the sun, and then it died. So, but I'm sure there's people in that group. If you haven't already joined the group, you can ask them. There you go. There's the link right there. But I would say that from my experience, it was looking really great, and then it just died. Lemons, I'm growing a ton of lemons back there. Lemons don't taste very good either, right? But at least you can make like lemonade. Grapefruits are just, I don't know. I should try to grow grapefruit, actually. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks to the 28 people who crushed up the likes, by the way. HSS says, my mom has owned a house around 51st Avenue and Baseline for 10 years. What do you think, HSS? Is it great over there in Laveen or what? Help them out. George Catawaru. Hello from Paramount, California. Looking forward to move to Arizona in 2021. Thanks for your videos. They help us a lot. Looking into your brother's listings. Gilbert, Chandler, here we go. There you go. Yeah. Gilbert and Chandler are pretty good. You can also come out here to Queen Creek, Santan Valley. Not quite the center of it all, but if you're looking for better prices, I mean, we're talking sometimes the difference between $100,000. Gilbert right now, $390, $380. Chandler for a house. Queen Creek, $320. Santan Valley, $270. What do you think? I mean, yeah, you're going to be a little bit out of the way. You got to drive an extra 30 minutes, but it's an up and coming area, booming. I mean, I'm just telling you. Undercover Gardener, there you go. Undercover Gardener, right on, man. All citrus do good here if they are grafted on our sour orange rootstock. Okay. On sour orange rootstock. I don't know about that. I've never heard about that. Oleana says your videos are really helpful. Thank you. Royal Pilot 116, moving to Mesa for Arizona State University. Can't wait to be in the pools. Yeah. It's pool season. All my neighbors, they got the big swans. They got these big, giraffes things they ride, and they sit there. They jump into the pool. The thing is, if you're going to build a pool, try to figure out some shade back there on your patio, whether it be an umbrella or a tree or something, or a patio deck. When you're out there and there's no shade within close proximity, I mean, it gets pretty hot, and you're going to want to wear one of the things I've seen people doing in the pools is they get these umbrella sleeves. So on their stairs, you can plug an umbrella into the stairs, and you have this nice big umbrella, and you can sit in there in like a lounge chair. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool as in cold. So it's a pretty good idea. Michelle said she just joined our gardening group. Nice. And if you guys haven't already watched those videos that I posted yesterday on the urban tactical stuff, you guys can also watch that. It's it is what it is. Harsh says, what are your thoughts on downtown Chandler? It is a cool spot to move in Chandler. Downtown Chandler is okay. I mean, downtown Gilbert's better, but in terms of things to do in restaurants. But if you really want the best stuff to do, downtown Tempe. Downtown Tempe has pretty much what you're looking for. Downtown Scottsdale, and Chandler's not too far away from either of those. I mean, you're an Uber ride away, or if you want to drive there, you can. Supreme Comedian, your videos and Facebook page has been super helpful. Oh, okay. So you're on our Facebook group living in Arizona. So anyways, guys, thanks to the 34 people who crushed up the likes. I'll stick around and answer some more questions before I get going. But yeah, it's good news. We're opening up pools and gyms. That means my neighbors don't have to ask me to come over to my gym anymore. And if they can use it at my gym, my home gym, which is fine. I mean, I'm cool with this. Just now they can go to the gym and get more stuff. HSS, I do not recommend moving to Levine with a family. Crime rate is horrible. Many home invasions and property crime. Gilbert is a great for a family. Santan, East Mesa, Falcon Field District. Yeah. Levine does have a high crime rate. But I mean, I don't know. That's coming from someone who lived out there, right? So Oleana, nurse practitioner looking to move to Arizona, any area recommended? Nurse practitioner, you probably have a lot of good luck. Okay, I'm going to recommend 2 places for you. Surprise, if you want to do the west side. Surprise, Peoria, if you want to do west side. And then if you want to do southeast side, I would recommend Gilbert or Mesa. So there you go. Robert Vogel just was watching our governor now. Yeah, there you go. The governor was just on. Undercover Gardener, do you have a pump on your missing system? Because I just got soaked by mine. Oh man, no, that's funny because I was out there on my umbrella. Like I kind of wanted to turn it down a little bit because you could get a pump to make your misters shoot lower. So like say you're on a 12-foot roof or a 10-foot roof or something, you need them to come down a little bit lower. Well, in this case on the umbrella, I needed them to come down like a little bit less because I mean, an umbrella is not that big, and so I was getting kind of soaked, kind of wet, but when it's 112 degrees out, like bring it on. Sorry. I'm not really going to complain about it, but right now when it's only 100, I was kind of like, so I'd like to moderate the amount of mist that is actually coming out. Supreme Comedian, can we talk about Peoria? Don't hear you mention Peoria much. Can you do a complete video on Peoria sometime? I actually have a complete video on Peoria on this channel. So if you haven't seen our driving tours, just go to the channel's homepage and watch our driving tours. We've got them from Payson, Casa Grande, Maricopa, Gilbert, Chandler, Mesa, downtown Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria. So, I mean, if you haven't already watched those, you can. I mean, there's plenty on there. Queen Creek's on there. Santan Valley's on there. Yeah, I think that's all of them. I might have more. I don't know. Kari Ricci says, is South Mountain an up-and-coming area? I'm assuming you're talking, well, what area of South Mountain? Because there's North-South Mountain and there's South-South Mountain, right? So South-South Mountain is going to be the Ahwatukee foothills. North-South Mountain, if you're talking around like downtown Phoenix area, South Mountain, no, that's not a very safe area. If you go a little bit further beyond that, you go to Estrella Mountain Ranch, that's a nice area. But like North-South Mountain, just south of downtown, that's almost considered a no-go zone. Go there if you want, but even, go do a little research on it. So it depends on what area of South Mountain you're talking about, because South Mountain really is a huge, massive mountain. Sky Cool Miles. Jeff, what part of Phoenix area would you recommend as upper middle class, sunny as possible, planning on moving from Atlanta, Georgia, single male, IT pro? Thanks, Scottsdale. Easy. Scottsdale. Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, Arcadia. There you go. Those are your 3. I really like North Scottsdale past the 101 off of, just north of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, DC Ranch. If you got the money, DC Ranch is a nice place. You've also got Troon up further north. And then if you go south, you've got places like McCormick Ranch. McCormick Ranch is nice. You could also check out a place called Fountain Hills. So like when you start going on Shea Boulevard past Pima, so you're going east on Pima down Shea Boulevard, you go towards Fountain Hills. When you're going down there, you'll start to come to basically like 132nd Street, because Phoenix is a grid, right? East of Central is streets. West of Central Boulevard, Central is where downtown Phoenix is West Phoenix, which is the Avs. So when you're on 132nd Street, you already know that's East Phoenix. If you're on 132nd Avenue, you're on far West Phoenix, right? So 132nd Street, and then you go beyond that, and then you go out into a place called Fountain Hills. The reason they call it Fountain Hills is because the world's tallest fountain actually used to be out there. So, That's pretty good too. Thanks, Michelle. Wham bam, gym time, baby. Time to add mass to that. That's funny. Sin A says, I've seen some really nice homes in North South Mountain on Zillow. It's a shame that the area isn't better. I'm priced out of Scottsdale, which is my first choice. Well, I always call Ahwatukee Foothills the poor man's Scottsdale. Now, don't take that out of context and say, oh, he said everyone who lives in Ahwatukee's poor. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you can't afford Scottsdale, but you still want Scottsdale type living, go to Ahwatukee. I've said probably 100 million times on this channel, Ahwatukee, and I swear no one heard me. Like if y'all are trying to move to Arizona, or Phoenix, go to Ahwatukee. I've tried to say that so many times. I mean, I'm like, you guys should be asking me, Jeff, you love Ahwatukee so much. You recommend Ahwatukee so much. Why don't you move there? I'm like, well, maybe I might. I've told you guys, go to Ahwatukee Foothills. If you haven't already checked it out. And here's the reason why I like Ahwatukee. It's right next to Chandler. It's right next to Tempe. It's like right off the freeway. But it's up against the backside of South Mountains, and it's like perfectly located. You can get to Tucson, lickety split. You can get to downtown Phoenix, lickety split. I mean, it's beautiful there. So I don't know. I guess I'm going on a rant now, right? Thanks to the 42 people who crushed up the likes, by the way. DLP says Ahwatukee is legit. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's right. It's more chill than Tempe and Chandler too, because it's like kind of like suburban up against the mountains. They got beautiful homes up in there too. I mean, depending on your price range, they got price for everything. Ryan Rosado says, this is my first summer here. It's rough. Yeah, man. Like I was like, damn, summer started early this year too. Like we were pushing high temps, late April. I was like, damn. Corey Ritchie says, can you live in Ahwatukee and work near downtown Scottsdale? Yeah, because there's a freeway right there called I-10 that runs up and then it turns into the 101. And I mean, you just get off at like McDowell, you get off at Lincoln or Thomas. I mean, you get off one of those roads and you're right there. Kimmy B, enjoy your day, Jeff. You got an awesome green thumb. Oh, thank you. I hope to see you guys in the group, our new group, Gardening in Phoenix. I'm trying to get more people over there because I personally enjoy gardening and I like to have a community based around gardening in Phoenix. Like that's one of my my new passions is gardening. I hope some of you guys can like to garden too. Growing things. Like who doesn't like to be a part of that? Sine, have you checked out the model homes in South Mountain by Maracay Homes? That's the area that caught my attention. Maracay Homes? No, I haven't. Maracay Homes. Let me take a look. South Mountain. See if I can dial this in and get saw baseline and it's a tough area. I mean, you're right on the edge of a tough area over there. That's for real. That's a tough. You're right there. It's going to get a little bit iffy for you, like right around that area. You're asking me. When you're up against the mountain like that, you're good, but you're not too far away from. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really checked it out, so I can't really say for certain. Steve says, "Is Apache Junction safe?" There's a lot of different. Apache Junction is a place where like you feel like the hills have eyes, if you know what I'm saying. Like at night, like there's a lot of trailers out there, and we're not talking like we're talking like people who've been living in trailers for 50 years now, and it's so there's that kind of crowd. A lot of desert rats, as we like to call them. They're like kind of like Arizona rednecks. So you get a little bit of like people blowing up propane tanks and, drinking beer and what's wrong with that, right? But walk around the desert barefoot. When someone walks around the desert barefoot, they're an Arizona OG. That's like this thing. And then when they go out at night, they're wearing a bolo tie with a turquoise right here or a turquoise like bracelet. And yes, I've had all that because my dad is from Arizona basically for like 60 years now. So he makes turquoise jewelry and does the bolo tie thing, goes on Tucson Gem Show and all that. But I mean, as kids, we used to go out in the desert barefoot. So why does someone who goes out into the desert barefoot. Why are they Arizona OG or Phoenix, Arizona OG? Because you go out there, they have these little prickers out there. Anyone who's ever had those in your feet, but once your feet get callous to it, you're just like whatever. And it gets hot on the ground too. I mean, between the rocks being hard, the crushed up granite, the prickers, the stickers on the ground, the hot ground. I mean, that's how you know someone's from Arizona, is if they walk in the desert barefoot. Step on broken grass, that's all over the dirt, says Jim Dandy. Yeah, there you go. Rusty K says hello from New Mexico. Hello. Bradley B, thumbs up from living in Arizona now. Thank you, Bradley B. The Madison Way, 2 questions. Is the commute from Gilbert to Scottsdale difficult? And when do we get to see the brim hat again? When I'm out there gardening. I'm always wearing the brim hat, man. I was out there this morning with the brim hat on. You guys are saying you want another garden video. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one. I did just plant. I removed some of the shrubs that they put when I bought the house. I was like, what kind of shrub is this? It's almost like a tumbleweed. Like they call that a shrub. So I replaced that with a hibiscus, a rose, and a bougainvillea. So I got rid of those shrubs that were, they're basically tumbleweeds, and they were messy too, man. They were messy. Like you had to like, no, I'm good on that. So I put was the flower? Jesus, can't even remember the name of the flower. Hibiscus. The hibiscus flower is a challenge because in the wintertime, it's frost susceptible. It can get frostbitten. So like you got to get a hibiscus through the first 2 years. So you got to cover it up when it frosts. If it goes like below 30 degrees, and we get, out here in Santan, we get it below 28 degrees, like at 6 o'clock in the morning on February 21st, you'll wake up and it'll be 28 degrees and at 6 in the morning, and that's wicked cold, and it'll get a hibiscus. And, usually when it's getting to 28 degrees, it's like at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like down to like 35. But then by the time 6 o'clock comes rolling around, it's gone below 32, and it'll kill a plant just even if it's 1 hour. Wham Bam says, did the governor put out any more guidelines for the gym, like limited amount of people? He just said like keep your distance. He did mention that there will be like limited capacities in some form. I don't have the details on that, unfortunately, right now, so I apologize about that. Jan says, what do you think of Desert Ridge? Work is in Peoria and kids' school is in 5th Street, Phoenix. Oh, Desert Ridge is great. Thanks to everyone who crushed up the likes, all 56 of you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.